Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gathering here today. I want to talk to you about a fundamental principle that shapes success in every domain of life. Discipline beats talent every time. We live in a world that glorifies talent, raw, innate ability. We celebrate prodigies and marvel at the ease with which they seem to excel. And yet, if you examine the lives of the truly successful, you'll find that talent alone is never enough. Talent is potential, but discipline is what turns potential into reality. Talent may be the spark, but discipline is the fire that sustains the burn. When we talk about talent, we often think of it as an inherent gift, something you're born with. Maybe it's an ability to grasp complex ideas quickly, a natural aptitude for music, or an effortless knack for sports. And yes, talent can be an incredible advantage, but here's the reality: talent on its own is unreliable. It's fleeting, inconsistent, and often a trap. People who rely solely on talent tend to stagnate because they confuse potential with achievement. They think, I'm good at this, so it will always come easily, but life doesn't work that way. Talent is like being handed a tool, a very sharp, very effective tool. You might be handed a scalpel, a hammer, or a paintbrush, depending on your natural abilities. But what good is the sharpest scalpel if you never learn how to use it? What value does a hammer have if you don't know where to strike the nail? The tool, no matter how powerful, is useless without the skill to wield it. And skill comes from discipline, persistent, deliberate practice over time. Discipline is a choice, not a gift. It's a decision you make every day to show up, to try, and to fail, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about doing the work when you'd rather do something else, about choosing long-term growth over short-term gratification. Talent doesn't require this kind of effort, at least not at first. But discipline demands it constantly. And here's the secret: the act of choosing discipline over and over again changes you. It reshapes your mind, your habits, and your character. Imagine a person with talent and no discipline. They might breeze through the early stages of learning, impressing others and achieving initial success. But what happens when the task becomes difficult? When the challenges surpass what talent alone can overcome? Without discipline, that person falters. They've never had to push through frustration or navigate failure. They lack the tools to persevere because they've never cultivated them. Now think about someone with no remarkable talent but unshakable discipline. They start slow, they fail often, but they keep going. Every failure becomes a lesson, every challenge an opportunity to grow. They may not have the natural advantages of the talented, but they surpass them because they refuse to stop. Their consistency becomes their edge, and over time they develop not only skill but also confidence, resilience, and mastery, qualities far more valuable than raw talent. Discipline isn't glamorous, and it's rarely recognized in the moment. No one applauds the writer for waking up at 5 a.m. every day to draft another imperfect page. No one cheers for the athlete running laps alone in the rain. But those moments of quiet effort, repeated over days, months, and years, build something extraordinary. They create momentum. They transform what once felt impossible into second nature. And that transformation, that elevation of ability, has nothing to do with talent. It's the result of discipline alone. Another way to think about it is to compare talent to luck. Luck, like talent, is unpredictable. You might be born into a situation that gives you a head start, a wealthy family, a great education, or a supportive community. But none of that guarantees success. What guarantees success is what you do with the opportunities you're given. Discipline ensures that you're ready to seize those opportunities when they come, and it allows you to create opportunities where none seem to exist. Consider how this plays out in everyday life. Look at students in a classroom. The naturally gifted student may excel early on, effortlessly grasping concepts and earning praise. But the disciplined student, the one who puts in the hours to study, ask questions, and practice, steadily improves. By the end of the term, it's often the disciplined student who performs better, because they've built a foundation that doesn't crumble under pressure. The same principle applies to every field. In business, the disciplined entrepreneur outpaces the visionary who never executes. In sports, the player who shows up to every practice, analyzes their performance, and works on their weaknesses surpasses the star who coasts on raw ability. In art, the disciplined creator produces a body of work, while the talented one waits for inspiration that may never come. Discipline isn't just about effort, it's about intention. It's not enough to work hard, you have to work smart too. Discipline directs your energy toward meaningful goals, breaking them down into manageable steps. It keeps you focused when distractions arise, and it gives you the courage to continue when results are slow to appear. The beautiful irony is this: through discipline, even someone with modest talent can become extraordinary. And for those with both talent and discipline, they're unstoppable. But the latter is what matters most. It's what levels the playing field, ensuring that hard work, not mere luck or natural ability, determines success. So while talent may open doors, it's discipline that keeps them open, and every day you have the power to choose it. Life is unpredictable, full of distractions and chaos that pull us in every direction. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when faced with the sheer complexity of the world. The demands of work, relationships, health, and personal growth all seem to compete for our time and attention. Chaos, in this sense, is not just external. It lives within us: our doubts, fears, impulses, and desires. Talent, no matter how extraordinary, often falters in the face of chaos. Why? Because talent relies on what comes naturally, while chaos demands deliberate action. And this is where discipline becomes essential. It turns chaos into order, transforming potential into progress. Discipline is the framework that organizes your life, especially when the world around you is in turmoil. It creates structure where none exists, a foundation upon which you can build stability and achieve your goals. Imagine you're a ship at sea caught in a storm. Talent might be the wind in your sails, but without the discipline of navigation and steering, that wind will carry you wherever it pleases, perhaps straight into the rocks. Discipline is your compass. It gives you direction, ensuring that you're not just moving, but moving towards something meaningful. When you introduce discipline into your life, you're effectively setting boundaries not just on your time, but on your energy and focus. These boundaries protect you from being consumed by the chaos. For instance, a disciplined person knows that every day must have its priorities. They decide, this is what I'll do, and this is how I'll do it. They don't let external distractions dictate their actions because they've already committed to a course of action. Without this structure, even the most talented individual can find themselves scattered, pursuing too many things at once and excelling at none. Now, let's consider how discipline counters one of chaos's most insidious forms: procrastination. Chaos thrives on avoidance. When we feel overwhelmed, we often delay taking action, telling ourselves we'll start tomorrow, or next week, or when the conditions are perfect. Talent offers no protection against this tendency. In fact, talented people are often more vulnerable to procrastination because they've gotten used to succeeding with minimal effort. But discipline operates differently. Discipline doesn't wait for the right moment. It acts now. It says, begin where you are with what you have and keep going. Think about the small, everyday routines that form the backbone of discipline. Waking up at the same time, dedicating focused hours to a task, prioritizing physical health, or even something as simple as tidying your workspace. These habits may seem insignificant, but they're the building blocks of order. Each time you adhere to a routine, you're taking a stand against chaos. You're saying, I choose progress over distraction, clarity over confusion. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, creating momentum that propels you forward no matter what challenges arise. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't eliminate chaos, it transforms it. Chaos often brings opportunities disguised as problems. The disciplined person doesn't shy away from these opportunities. They face them head-on, breaking them down into manageable parts. Consider an artist approaching a blank canvas. To the undisciplined, it's an intimidating void. To the disciplined, it's a chance to impose structure, sketching outlines, layering colors, refining details. This same principle applies to any endeavor, whether it's starting a business, learning a skill, or improving relationships. Discipline allows you to take the overwhelming and make it achievable. Now let's talk about resilience in the face of external chaos, unexpected challenges, setbacks, and failures. Talent often crumbles under pressure because it's untested, it's accustomed to smooth sailing. But discipline is forged in adversity. The disciplined person has faced chaos before and knows how to navigate it. They understand that setbacks are not signs of failure but opportunities to adapt and grow. When life throws them off course, they don't abandon the journey, they recalibrate. This ability to stay the course, even when things go wrong, is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Discipline also provides clarity in decision-making. Chaos often clouds judgment, filling our minds with conflicting thoughts and emotions. A disciplined individual, however, has a clear sense of purpose. They've already defined their goals and values, so their choices align with those priorities. This doesn't mean they're inflexible, far from it. Discipline is not rigidity, it's focus. It allows you to adapt without losing sight of what matters most. The most remarkable thing about discipline is that it's available to everyone. You don't need to be naturally gifted to introduce discipline into your life. It's a skill you can develop one small habit at a time. Start by creating order in one area of your life. Maybe it's your morning routine or how you approach your work. Then expand that order outward, gradually imposing structure on the chaos. Each step reinforces your ability to take control, proving to yourself that you're capable of shaping your life rather than being shaped by circumstances. Ultimately, discipline isn't just about achieving goals, it's about creating a sense of harmony in a chaotic world. It's about knowing that, no matter how turbulent life becomes, you have the tools to navigate it. Talent may get you noticed, but discipline ensures you endure. It turns chaos into a canvas and your focused actions into a masterpiece. Failure is a universal experience. At some point, no matter how talented you are, you will encounter it. Whether it's a missed opportunity, a rejected idea, or a poor performance, failure is inevitable. Talent, for all its advantages, often struggles to cope with failure. It is unprepared for resistance because talent is used to things coming easily. The disciplined individual, on the other hand, not only expects failure but embraces it as a necessary step on the path to success. Discipline builds resilience, the ability to keep going, to learn, and to grow in the face of adversity. Consider for a moment what failure does to someone who has relied solely on their talent. When you're accustomed to excelling without much effort, failure can feel catastrophic. It challenges your identity, your sense of self-worth. The talented person might think, if I can't succeed easily, then maybe I'm not as gifted as I thought. They become paralyzed by doubt, often retreating rather than pushing forward. Talent, for all its promise, offers no preparation for the discomfort of falling short. But discipline teaches a different lesson. Discipline says failure is not the end, it's a step forward. A disciplined person understands that every setback is an opportunity to refine their approach, to correct their mistakes, and to come back stronger. They don't see failure as a reflection of their worth, but as a necessary part of growth. They know that progress isn't linear, it's a cycle of trying, failing, learning, and trying again. Resilience, built through discipline, is a skill that strengthens over time. Every time you face a challenge and choose to persist, you're reinforcing a mindset that can withstand greater difficulties. Think about a runner training for a marathon. At first, even a short distance feels exhausting. But through disciplined training, their endurance improves. They push through the pain, gradually extending their limits. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. This is how resilience works. It's not something you're born with, it's something you cultivate through consistent effort. Another important aspect of resilience is adaptability. Life rarely unfolds as planned, and failure often forces us to take a different path. The disciplined individual is prepared for this. Because they've developed the habit of analyzing their actions and adjusting their strategies, they're able to adapt to new circumstances without losing sight of their goals. They don't cling rigidly to one approach. Instead, they view obstacles as puzzles to solve. This flexibility, born of discipline, turns potential roadblocks into opportunities for innovation. Now, consider the emotional side of resilience. Failure hurts. It can be discouraging, even demoralizing, to pour your energy into something and not see the results you hoped for. Talent often crumbles under the weight of these emotions because it lacks the tools to cope. Discipline, however, provides a framework for managing the emotional toll of failure. It teaches you to separate your feelings from your actions. You may feel frustrated or disappointed, but discipline reminds you to keep showing up, to keep doing the work even when motivation fades. Discipline also fosters resilience by creating a sense of purpose. When you're disciplined, you're not working aimlessly, you're working toward a goal that matters to you. This sense of purpose gives you the strength to endure setbacks. It reminds you why you started in the first place and keeps you focused on the bigger picture. Talent might win in the short term, but resilience ensures that you stay in the game for the long haul. There's another layer to resilience that's worth exploring: the sense of self-reliance it cultivates. When you rely solely on talent, you're at the mercy of something you can't control. Talent may ebb and flow, it may fail you when you need it most. Discipline, on the other hand, is entirely within your control. It's something you can choose, something you can depend on. This self-reliance builds confidence, not the fragile confidence of someone who succeeds only when conditions are perfect, but the unshakable confidence of someone who knows they can persevere no matter what. Think about the stories of great achievers. Almost without exception, their journeys are marked by failure. They didn't succeed because they were the most talented, they succeeded because they were the most resilient. They faced rejection, criticism, and defeat, but they kept going. They learned from their failures, adjusted their course, and eventually triumphed. Their resilience wasn't a result of their talent, it was a result of their discipline. In the end, resilience is what allows you to bridge the gap between potential and achievement. Talent may light the way, but it's discipline that carries you through the darkness. It's discipline that teaches you to see failure not as a threat, but as an opportunity to grow stronger. And it's discipline that gives you the courage to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. Resilience is the reward for choosing discipline over ease, for showing up again and again, even when the odds are against you. And it's resilience that ensures, in the end, you will succeed. Talent is often seen as a specialized advantage, an innate ability in a specific area. Someone might be a natural athlete, a gifted musician, or a mathematical prodigy. Talent shines in particular contexts, but its utility is limited to those areas of strength. Discipline, however, is different. It is a universal skill, a quality that transcends domains and applies to every aspect of life. Whether you're pursuing a career, nurturing relationships, improving your health, or mastering a craft, discipline is the foundation that enables sustained growth and achievement. At its core, discipline is the ability to regulate your actions, prioritize what matters, and consistently work toward your goals. This isn't limited to one skill or field, it's a way of thinking and behaving that can be applied to anything you undertake. While talent may grant you a head start in one specific area, discipline provides the versatility to excel in many areas. It's a skill that enhances every other skill, amplifying your capacity to adapt, learn, and improve. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine a talented pianist who can effortlessly play by ear, but has never developed the discipline to practice regularly. Their talent might allow them to impress others in casual settings, but without the hard work of refining their technique, expanding their repertoire, and studying music theory, their progress will stagnate. Now think of someone with no natural talent for music but an unyielding commitment to practice. Over time, their discipline will compensate for their lack of innate ability. They will master the fundamentals, improve steadily, and eventually reach a level of proficiency that the undisciplined talent cannot match. This principle applies not just to music but to every endeavor. Discipline is also transferable because it trains your mind to approach challenges systematically. For example, the skills you develop by adhering to a fitness routine, consistency, patience, and goal setting can be applied to building a business, learning a new language, or managing your finances. Once you understand the value of breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps and tackling them with focus and persistence, you can use that approach in any context. Talent, by contrast, often lacks this flexibility. Being good at one thing doesn't necessarily mean you'll be good at something else. Discipline, however, equips you with the tools to tackle unfamiliar challenges with confidence. Another reason discipline is universal is that it cultivates habits, and habits shape every aspect of your life. Good habits, built through discipline, create a structure that supports your goals and minimizes the mental energy required to stay on track. For instance, the habit of planning your day each morning can improve your productivity at work, your time management at home, and even your ability to maintain relationships by ensuring you prioritize important connections. These habits become the scaffolding that holds your life together, allowing you to thrive even when circumstances are difficult. Discipline also teaches you to value process over outcome. Talented individuals often focus on results because they're accustomed to achieving success with minimal effort, but discipline shifts the focus to the journey on showing up and doing the work, regardless of immediate results. This mindset is transformative. It frees you from the fear of failure because you're no longer fixated on the end goal. You're invested in the growth and learning that come from the process. This adaptability is what makes discipline such a powerful universal skill. It enables you to thrive in any situation, regardless of external pressures or setbacks. Furthermore, discipline fosters self-mastery. It requires you to confront your impulses, manage your time wisely, and prioritize what truly matters. These qualities are not just applicable to professional or creative pursuits, they are essential for living a fulfilling life. Think about the discipline it takes to maintain healthy relationships, listening with empathy, showing up for others, and navigating conflicts with patience and understanding. These are not talents you're born with, they're skills you develop through consistent effort. The same is true for managing your health, learning to cook, or staying financially responsible. In every area of life, discipline enhances your ability to make choices that align with your long-term well-being. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about discipline is that it levels the playing field. Talent may give some people an initial advantage, but discipline is available to everyone. You don't need to be born with a special gift to develop discipline. It's a choice you make every day, a muscle you strengthen through repeated use. And unlike talent, which is finite and specific, discipline has no limits. The more you practice it, the more it grows, expanding your capacity to achieve and excel in new areas. Finally, discipline creates a sense of ownership over your life. When you rely on talent alone, you're at the mercy of circumstances, waiting for inspiration, relying on luck, or depending on conditions to be just right. Discipline, on the other hand, puts you in control. It gives you the power to take deliberate action, to shape your own path, and to create opportunities where none existed before. This sense of ownership is deeply empowering. It allows you to approach life with confidence, knowing that your success is not dictated by chance but by your commitment to doing the work. In the end, talent may shine in specific moments, but discipline is the steady force that carries you forward in every aspect of life. It's the skill that makes all other skills possible, the habit that creates habits, and the foundation upon which a meaningful life is built. No matter where you start or what challenges you face, discipline is the one tool you can always rely on to turn your potential into achievement. Discipline is not just about getting things done, it is about building character. It shapes who you are at your core, teaching you to value consistency, accountability, and growth. Talent, while impressive, often remains superficial. It dazzles on the surface but doesn't necessarily speak to the strength or depth of a person's character. Discipline, by contrast, is transformative. It goes beyond skills and abilities, molding your mindset and values in ways that influence every part of your life. In the end, discipline creates not only success but also a sense of purpose, integrity, and fulfillment. The process of discipline is inherently humbling. It requires you to confront your weaknesses and limitations, not shy away from them. A talented individual may avoid challenges that expose their vulnerabilities, choosing instead to stay within the comfort zone of what comes easily. But discipline demands that you face discomfort head-on. It pushes you to try, fail, and try again, often in the absence of immediate rewards. This process fosters humility, a recognition that growth is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Humility, however, is only one aspect of the character built through discipline. Perseverance is another. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, even when the road is long and difficult. It's a quality that is impossible to develop without sustained effort over time. Discipline trains you to persevere because it forces you to commit to the process, regardless of how you feel on any given day. Talent might get you started, but only perseverance born of discipline ensures you finish. Another profound effect of discipline on character is the cultivation of self-control. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, self-control is a rare and valuable trait. Discipline teaches you to prioritize long-term goals over short-term gratification, to resist the pull of distractions, and to focus on what truly matters. This self-control spills over into all areas of life. It helps you manage your emotions during conflicts, maintain healthy habits, and stay committed to your values even when it's inconvenient. Over time, this builds a deep sense of inner strength, a foundation of character that cannot be easily shaken. Discipline also fosters accountability. When you commit to a disciplined routine, you take responsibility for your actions and outcomes. There's no room for excuses or blame. If you succeed, it's because you showed up and did the work. If you fail, it's an opportunity to reflect, learn, and adjust. This accountability extends beyond personal goals to how you interact with others. A disciplined person is reliable. They follow through on their commitments, show up when they're needed, and can be trusted to handle responsibilities with care. This makes them not only more successful, but also more respected and valued by those around them. Resilience is another hallmark of character that discipline strengthens. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. A disciplined person develops the resilience to navigate these challenges without losing sight of their goals. They don't crumble under pressure or give up at the first sign of failure. Instead, they adapt, adjust, and continue forward. This resilience is not just about enduring hardship, it's about growing through it. Discipline transforms adversity into an opportunity for growth, teaching you to see challenges not as roadblocks but as stepping stones to greater strength and wisdom. Discipline also instills a sense of purpose. When you commit to a disciplined way of life, you're not just going through the motions, you're aligning your actions with your values and goals, creating a sense of direction and meaning. This purpose becomes a guiding force, helping you stay focused and motivated even when the work is hard or the rewards seem distant. Talent might provide bursts of inspiration, but discipline gives you the clarity and consistency to turn that inspiration into sustained action. Perhaps one of the most overlooked ways discipline builds character is by fostering gratitude. When you've worked hard for something, you value it more deeply. The disciplined person appreciates their achievements not because they came easily, but because they required effort, sacrifice, and commitment. This gratitude extends beyond personal accomplishments to a broader appreciation for the opportunities, challenges, and people that have contributed to their growth. It creates a mindset of abundance rather than entitlement, reinforcing the idea that life's greatest rewards are earned, not given. Lastly, discipline builds integrity. At its core, discipline is about aligning your actions with your values. It's about doing what you said you would do, even when no one is watching. This consistency between your words and actions creates a foundation of trust not only with others but also with yourself. When you practice discipline, you prove to yourself that you are capable of setting and achieving goals. This builds self-respect and confidence, reinforcing a positive cycle of action and growth. Ultimately, discipline shapes who you are far more than talent ever could. Talent may bring you recognition, but discipline builds the qualities that truly matter: perseverance, resilience, self-control, accountability, humility, gratitude, and integrity. These are the traits that define a person's character, the qualities that determine how they navigate life's challenges and contribute to the world around them. Discipline doesn't just create success, it creates a life of purpose and meaning. And that is far more valuable than any talent could ever be. In the end, the message is clear: while talent may open doors, discipline builds the foundation that sustains success. Talent dazzles in the moment, but discipline endures through the trials and challenges of life. It takes what is raw and unpolished and transforms it into something meaningful, something lasting. Discipline empowers us to turn chaos into order, to learn from failure, to develop resilience, and to grow in character. It is the universal skill that transcends individual abilities, touching every part of our lives and creating the habits, focus, and strength necessary to achieve greatness. Discipline reminds us that success is not about shortcuts or innate gifts, but about consistent, purposeful effort. It teaches us to value the journey, to persevere when things get tough, and to rise again after every fall. Most importantly, it allows us to take control of our lives, to shape our own paths, and to achieve not just our goals, but a sense of fulfillment and purpose. So if you ever find yourself wondering whether talent is enough, remember this: talent may shine brightly, but it is fleeting. Discipline is the steady flame that burns through adversity and illuminates the way forward. It is the bridge between who you are and who you have the potential to become. Choose discipline, and you will not only surpass talent, you will achieve something far greater: mastery over yourself and the life you truly desire.